All right, let's talk prom dresses. Picking one out, it's so much more than just finding something to wear, right? It's really your chance to show off who you are and find a look that makes you feel, absolutely amazing. And that's the perfect way to look at it. This whole thing isn't about trying to fit into some kind of mold. No way. It's a journey, really. A journey to figure out what makes you shine, what makes you feel truly confident from the inside out.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. With so many options out there, it can feel, well, a little intense. I mean, you're staring at racks and racks of dresses, or you're scrolling for what feels like forever online. It can get super overwhelming. So the big question is, where do you even begin? Don't worry, we are going to break it all down for you right now.
So let's get into it. We're going to start with what I like to call the blueprint for confidence. And here's the secret sauce. It's not about changing who you are. It's all about understanding yourself. And that all starts with one key thing, your body shape. Basically, it's just the natural silhouette of your body. That's it. And once you get a handle on your shape, oh man, it makes everything so much easier. You can instantly narrow down your choices and start looking at styles that are pretty much made to highlight your best features. And listen, this is so important. Your shape is not a limitation. Not at all. It's actually the complete opposite. Think of it as the foundation, the exciting starting point for discovering a style that is 100% uniquely and captivatingly you. Okay, you ready? Let's dive into our guide to silhouettes and see how this actually works in the real world. We're going to break down the most common body shapes and, more importantly, the dress styles that make each one of them look their absolute best. First up, we've got the hourglass figure. So, what does this mean? It's all about those balanced proportions. Your shoulders and hips are about the same width, and you've got a naturally defined waist. The game plan here is super simple. Just highlight that amazing natural harmony you've already got going on. So, how do you do that? Well, dresses with cinched waists are going to be your absolute best friend. Seriously, sweetheart necklines, sleek mermaid silhouettes, they all do an incredible job of just following your natural shape. And when it comes to fabrics, something structured like satin is fantastic because it holds that beautiful line. But here's a little pro tip for you. You might want to avoid any heavy ruching right at your midsection. Sometimes it can actually hide that amazing waist instead of showing it off. All right, next up, the inverted triangle shape. This is where you might have broader shoulders compared to a slimmer lower body. And the strategy here? It's all about creating a gorgeous sense of balance and kind of softening that overall silhouette. And check out how cool this is. Deep V-necks or U-necks are absolutely incredible because they create this nice, long vertical line that draws the eye down. Asymmetrical necklines do the exact same thing. Then, to create that balance we talked about, you can add some fun volume on the bottom half. Think layered, tiered, or pleated skirts. They're perfect. On the flip side, you'll probably want to skip high necklines or puff sleeves, just because they can add a bit of extra width up top where you don't really need it. Okay, let's talk about the apple shape. For this silhouette, there's often a bit more fullness in the upper body and a less defined waist. So our whole focus is going to be on creating flow, a little bit of lift, and a really nice elongated look. The secret weapon here is creating those long, flattering vertical lines. High-waisted empire dresses are an absolute dream for this. They draw the eye up and then let the fabric just flow gracefully from there. And speaking of fabric, think of lightweight stuff like chiffon and tulle as your best friends. They move so beautifully without adding any bulk. You'll probably want to skip anything that's super tight or a dress that's covered head to toe in sequins, since they can sometimes break up that long, beautiful line we're going for. All right, now for the pear shape. This is where you might have a fuller lower body compared to your upper body. And the goal here is super clear and really effective. We want to elegantly elevate the whole look by drawing all the attention upward. So how do we pull that off? Easy. It is all about the details. A bodice with a little bit of sparkle, sequins, beading, that kind of thing, it naturally pulls everyone's focus up. Off-the-shoulder designs are also fantastic because they help create a wider look up top. Now you pair that with a classic A-line or flared skirt that just skims over your hips and bam, you've got a perfectly balanced, stunning look. Oh, and a great statement necklace, that's the perfect finishing touch. And last but not least, let's talk about the rectangle shape. This silhouette tends to have straighter lines, maybe with a little less natural waist definition, but this is where it gets really exciting because you get to use all these cool design details to actually sculpt dynamic curves. Yeah, this is where fashion gets really fun. You can basically create your own curves. Dresses that have ruching or a belt right at the waist, they're your new best friends. A-line skirts are also fabulous because they flare out and create that illusion of an hourglass shape. And hey, don't forget about two-piece dresses. They're super trendy and they're amazing at visually creating a waistline. The only thing you might want to steer clear of is anything too boxy or straight cut, because that's not going to do you any favors. Okay, so boom, you figured out your silhouette, you're feeling good, but the magic doesn't stop there, not even close. Now let's talk about the finishing touches. These are the little details that are going to take your look from just wow to, oh my gosh, absolutely unforgettable. First up, color. It is such a powerful tool. So dark, solid colors, they tend to slim and flatter. Wearing one color from head to toe, that's called a monochromatic look. That can make you look taller. And you can get really strategic too, like a light top with a dark bottom. That's a classic trick to help balance out a pear shape. And fabric. Fabric makes a huge difference. Think of structured materials like satin or mikado as your own personal sculpture. They're a bit heavier, they hold their shape, so they can actually create definition. That's amazing for rectangle and inverted triangle shapes. Then you've got your lightweight fabrics like chiffon and tulle. They're all about that dreamy, romantic flow and movement, perfect for enhancing softer silhouettes. And don't forget about details. You've got to remember, wherever you put something shiny or interesting, that's where people's eyes are going to go. Sequins, beading, rhinestones, they're basically little spotlights. So you have to be strategic. Use that sparkle to highlight the features you love most, whether that's drawing the eye up to your neckline or adding a little pop to your waist. Okay, so now you have all the knowledge. You've got the blueprint for confidence. So the big question is, how do you take all this info and, actually find your dress? Here is your simple 4-step action plan for success. It's super easy. 1. Identify your body shape using everything we just talked about. 2. Think about your personal vibe. Are you feeling sparkly and fun? More classic and elegant? Bold? 3. If you're shopping online, please, please, please check that size chart. It is your Bible. And finally, number 4, and this is the golden rule. Always leave time for alterations. Trust me, a perfect fit makes all the difference. It'll make you feel like $1,000,000. After all the tips, all the tricks, all the rules, this is what it really boils down to. Just forget everything else for a second. The perfect dress is the one that makes you absolutely beam when you put it on. The one that just feels like you. That feeling, that's the only thing that really matters. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that you don't need any dress to be brilliant. You already are. The dress is just a fun way to express that brilliance. You've already got everything you need to be seen, to be admired, and to have the most amazing, unforgettable time.